Hello guys and welcome to the ProDota Cup series by Smashcast TV. We have a match between XIAO DIAN and Happy Feet today in a best of 3 that will decide the second qualified for the winners brackets in the losers bracket, finals. And XIAO DIAN or Happy Feet will both be fighting against the guys at GeekFam, who just lost against MVP Revolution and have decided to go down the losers brackets. Let's see who can do it. Sorry for the late start again. Optimization issues with Dota, which usually crashes at the start and the draft and whatnot, but that's something we can't really fix. Let's see what the draft presents us today. My name is DSwordfish. I'll be your caster for today. Let's see what XIAO DIAN and Happy Feet have brought for us today. Shadow Shaman, Bristleback, Kunkka, and Tinker picked up by XIAO DIAN already. Happy Feet picks up a Jakiro, a Darkseer, a Tusk, and a Storm Spirit. So Happy Feet is already going for that lane dominating strong lineup, with the Jakiro to push lanes, the Darkseer as well, and the Tusk to get some early ganks, getting some space for their Storm Spirit, forcing your supports to not be able to gank him, and even maybe ganking him yourself to ensure that this lane against Tinker is not too terrible. Meanwhile, if you are XIAO DIAN, you're looking for more early game kills, trying to get that domination in the mid game, utilizing the Bristleback and Kunkka and Shadow Shaman just to do a lot of damage early. Happy Feet, a lot of space creator, Ursa, because you're going to create space for the storm early on, so it makes sense that you get a snowball carry. XIAO DIAN, what else are they missing? They need a carry, unless they're picking the Bristleback in the carry position. A Weaver, for example, looks very nice for them. Bloodseeker. Okay, well, screw it. Bloodseeker works too. Why not? Right, with how the drafts are going, I think XIAO DIAN is looking for a bit of a global strategy, utilizing that Bloodseeker for a bit more than just the damage or the carry potential, but rather for the thirst that you can combine with both the Kunkka and the Tinker with their large range of spells, or large range spells, both Torrent and X marks the spot. So you have a bit of team fight with XIAO DIAN utilizing Kunkka and Tinker in the early game. He was seeking missiles together with a thirst, of course, and thirst, of course, together with the Torrent and the X marks the spot. Easy kills. Try to create some space for the rest of your team. The Bristleback can also farm and join you in the mid game, and of course that Bloodseeker offers the silence, which is so very useful. And we're trying to initiate upon you with a Silver Edge, because the silence is a great zone out skill for the Bloodseeker. So it definitely works out for right now for the guys at XIAO DIAN. They don't have a bad draft by any means. The draft seems to have more cohesion than the enemy draft, but of course Happy Feet have not drafted themselves badly. Oh fuck. Okay, no. Okay, what's wrong? First of all, why am I watching it like a spectator when I'm myself in the lobby? For some strange reason, it's not letting me use the camera. 1 second. I hope that didn't kill my. Because I haven't played since the update, of course. Oh no, there it is. There it is. Usually, sometimes when they update, they might kill some commands, like the assistant camera operator, but luckily they did not kill it. Cool. So we're all set. We don't have to have any issues. Sorry about this. It's not. I'm actually in the lobby. You should be able to hear me in the lobby as the English caster, but it would be just possible that I forgot to put myself in the channel. But anyway, you can still hear me on stream, so it's all good. Anyway, that said, guys, before we continue with the analysis of the teams, allow me to present them myself. My name is DSwordfish. I'll be your caster for today, and let's see what both teams have for us on this particular engagement. We have Happy Feet versus XIAO DIAN for the only match of the day for the XIAO region of this tournament, and honestly for all the ProDota Cups as a whole. It is Happy Feet versus XIAO DIAN. Whoever wins plays against GeekFam in the finals for the losers brackets, and then gets the option to play against MVP Revolution in the actual finals. Happy Feet on the left hand side, playing as the Radiant. We have Mr. XIAO as the Jakiro in the support position. In the mid lane, we have a Storm Spirit played by Benher here as the carry, and Ursa played by JO, who's being slightly harassed by Jaeger. There's a Torrent and Shackles combo. A couple of those Glow Spray stacks are starting to hurt JO considerably. The Earthshock is the first skill he uses. The old breath. No, the Shackles will catch him in time, and Jaeger will not let him escape. Like I said, JO will be playing the Ursa in the carry position. In the offlane, it's Yaj with the Darkseer, and finally the second support is going to be Jules for Happy Feet. As for XIAO DIAN, straight from Singapore, we have Dian as the Kunkka, the Bristleback played by Lovett. Here in the middle lane, we have a Gentleman on the Tinker. As the carry, we have Speeddrop playing the Bloodseeker, and as the second support, it's Jaeger on the Shadow Shaman. Again, the first blood pretty important for XIAO DIAN. They were probably looking for that, utilizing that Shackles and against the Torrent. It's really powerful, honestly, well timed. And level 1 Shackles already enough. They're going to XIAO this time. Cool Spray is already 2 stacked. They need 1 more stack to pretty much kill the Jakiro, and they will get it. Love it. Ensuring that easy kill onto the enemy support, just utilizing the Shackles and the Torrent, pulling this offensive tri-lane together, which is working really well for them, because now the Bloodseeker can fight against this Darkseer alone in the top lane, and that's exactly what he would want, because he heals completely, so the initial damage is honestly not that great. Ah, shit. Right, I understand. We're seeing the same thing that we saw earlier, that the Storm, of course, is dominating still the mid game, and once the supports rotate to it, it's an easy kill for him. And now Happy Feet are starting to rotate their own supports, trying to get a couple kills in the top lane, perhaps one against a Bloodseeker. He has no escape mechanism naturally, and he's had to go for a lane dominator build, so punish him for that, right? Because he didn't go for one level on Blood Right, which is usually the best thing to zone out. And XIAO DIAN already decided to rotate their support in the mid lane, the Kunkka, and in the top lane, speed draw, vacuum, now the snowball, they catch him with the ice shards. Is there any way to get out of this? Probably not. OTP's helping him out either, and speed draw is just going to resign to death, accepting it as Happy Feet just run him over with the Iron Shell damage. And they're going to proceed to go to the top lane, where they can now take down a tower for pretty cheap. Whereas in the bottom lane, XIAO seems to be the target of aggression. They do have a Shackles for him, and now Torrent is going to be used. The Quill Sprays are starting to stack, and they've stunned out. XIAO can't make it out of there alive. As Love It will get another kill into this poor Ursa, increasing his net worth even further and putting himself even above the Ursa, above the Darkseer. He's the most farmed offlaner here. In fact, he's almost as farmed as the Storm Spirit, and that is what XIAO DIAN is hoping for, that being their strong suit, the Bristleback. Speed draw, helpful. Careful, sorry. The liquid fire is a bit annoying. Endoman with a march to the machines. In the top lane, there's the snowball finally. Catch the speed draw. Very good use of the Blood Right. Stopping them completely with Thorns as well. Predicting where the snowball's gonna go. Speed draw has to run away from here, and he should be able to. He has a lot of stacks of thirst, but DeAnne might not have the same luck. The liquid fire and the dual breath are hurting him a lot, but he does have the magic stick just to survive. In the end, the guys from XIAO DIAN will not lose anyone in that engagement, even though they could have, just because of that 1 point in Blood Right, and of course, that super powerful Torrent by DeAnne. Very well predicted Torrent, obviously, but no, that worked out. Jaeger in the bottom lane might find XIAO, and XIAO is just trying to get some of those beautiful stacks up. Trying to do a pull himself, but this is an easy kill if they just grab him. I mean, honestly, how many cycles do you have of stun? You have 2.75 seconds. How many Quill Spray stacks is that? That's honestly just one. So that's not that great, actually. That is not that great. I had higher hopes for it. XIAO is still gonna try to go for those creeps. I mean, if you hit him with Ether Shock first, I suppose, and then Shackle. But it was a hard kill, because it can also turn around and just hit you, and of course you need to stack up a lot of those sprays before you attack him, and if the TPs come in, then the Ursa can really turn this around, because it's enraged, so it can usually just tank the damage to the quills as the game goes on, etc, etc. Oh, look at the other creeps are even coming in and helping him out to last it. That's cool, that's cool. Thank you, creeps, thank you, creeps. That seems pretty nice. Yash, careful. Again, speed draw. Luckily, he surges himself away. And speed draw might be fast, but of course, if you don't deal so much damage to Yash in the early game, it's not that big a deal. The whole point here, I guess, would be go for the Rupture if you want to get a kill, but then force his TP and then kill him by dealing enough damage to him instead. So you want to get into a bit more than half health, so your damage is considerable, and then boom, 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 He did the max thirst first, which I'm happy about, you know. In comes the Storm, there's the stun onto Speed draw. Speed draw dealing a lot of damage. or getting dealt a lot of damage, sorry, goes down to the Storm pretty easily. XIAO DIAN will lose their carry, and that's not even a rotation. I wouldn't even consider that much of a rotation. It's actually half a rotation of anything but Ben-Hur, because he goes to mid lane really quickly and use ball lightning for that. Oh, Gentleman is also going to lose that haste rune to the Ursa. That's not good. Gentleman can't make it out of here alive. The enraged dispel the laser. XIAO is waiting for that, and they get the kill onto the Tinker as well. XIAO DIAN lost two very valuable people in the last couple of seconds. That was a very lucky haste by the Ursa, but of course waiting for it near Roshan. Using this fog for surprise factor made the Tinker very vulnerable, because he couldn't go to his tower in time, and there was no TPs that could save him from an Ursa attack. That's the issue with XIAO DIAN's lineup to some degree. That if the Ursa does get farm and they'll start being powerful, and I mean XIAO loves to do the early Roshan as well, so this is not surprising at all. But if the Ursa does start getting farmed and starts getting powerful, you have no defensive supports. Both of your supports are very offensive. The Kunkka is entirely for setups. That's what the Xbox spot is, honestly. And then the Torrent as well is not the best item or the best thing against Ursa. Oh, in the bottom lane, they go to get speed draw. And he's dead really quickly. The poor Bloodseeker can't do anything. Love it. Who has to run away and decides that it's best not to fight without his Bloodseeker partner. But the Roshan also goes down to Happy Feet. The Torrent comes a bit too late, and like I said, no defensive support, so you can't really defend positions that well. You have a lot of stuns, you can punish him pretty well, like, well, the Shadow Shaman can, because of his short range. If he does the towers, he can punish you with, say, a Shackles or a Hex, but you don't have a support, for example, like the Dazzle Trim Protector that ensures that you can stay alive. These supports have to, you know, be there just to stun someone so you can stay alive, and that's just not going to work as well. So, let's see what happens in the game between Happy Feet and XIAO DIAN, because it's definitely gonna be up to how much aggression Happy Feet want to put up, and if that's gonna work out against XIAO DIAN, because of course they are more farmed currently. The Storm is gonna crush the Tinker in the mid game, and they've created all the space they need for the Storm. DSwordfish already TPing away. I don't know if he's gonna make it though. Ooh, one more Skull Spray, he would have been done, but the TP takes too little time. Gentleman finally with his travel boots, going to be showing them off. 12 minutes in, maybe not the fastest travel boots, but still a decent timing. They did not lose a bottom tier 1 tower, so that's the whole point right now, which is that they really should try not to lose any objectives to the team Happy Feet, because Happy Feet of course has an Ursa, and the Ursa is more than happy to just snowball out of control with objectives. Maybe even get a dash later if he thinks the time is right, or if he thinks that it's a item to grab on him, honestly. If he thinks he can snowball out of control, then why not? But the thing is, if he does grab that Desolator very soon, or even worse, he goes for something along the lines of a Basher or a Blink Dagger really soon, then you're facing a huge snowballing Ursa that you really can't control. And on top of that, you also have the Storm, which kind of dominates your late game, because the Storm is both good against the Tinker and against the Bloodseeker. Because if you do, use your Rupture on him, it doesn't really affect him too much because of the ball lightning. Alright, let's see. The bottom lane is being slowly sieged by the guys at XIAO DIAN. They want to get some advantage, like I say. And the Ursa, apparently not muting to it. The Ursa in the bottom lane puts himself in a bit of a dangerous position, I suppose. Mainly just showing them off with the overpower. He knows he wants to fight. He has the Aegis after all. So if they do fight, they probably win the fight, let's be honest. However, XIAO DIAN still want this tower, and they know they have to take Salvage, especially if they can get a kill. Rupture already used the Dark Soup, turns into a chicken, but a chicken is losing a lot of blood. In comes the Close Fight, and the ball lightning. Oh, catch the poor Bristleback, and he's dead. The Torrent, though, will hit together with the bolt. It hits two, but not the Storm Spirit. The Storm Spirit follows Speeddraw, who's now really fast because his two teammates, Ben-Hur's two teammates, lost a lot of HP, and exchange that's a kill on the Bristleback for absolutely nothing. While the Ursa regenerates himself in the jungle. He still has that Aegis, so he should be fine, but of course he doesn't want to lose it so early. He doesn't need to. The Roshan will respawn. Actually, no, yeah, he'll lose it in 2 minutes, so he still has quite a lot of time. Speeddraw is kind of farming in the jungle. Maybe that's not the best of ideas. Great smoke gank. Offensively, you know exactly where they are, so it's one of the easiest smoke ganks to use. The snowball will catch out a Shadow Shaman. The Ice Pack catches out a Bristleback. Which one are they going to go for? Ben-Hur decides the Shadow Shaman's the easiest target. Yager, it gets pulled back with a vacuum, and he's going to go down the blood right. Not going to hit Ben-Hur entirely. Next part of the spot, only going to help the end for a couple more seconds against XIAO, who ends up eating him up. The Ice Bath, both those and the Macropyre are confusing a lot with both Hot and Fire. Yash, he has to run away with Surge, but he's not going to make it in time. Speeddraw a bit too fast, and Ben-Hur gets the kill on the Tinker that they were looking for. DSwordfish, the poor man, gets stunned by the bolt a second time, and now XIAO running away himself. Lost the Aegis that engagement and can't make it out alive easily. Neither can Ben-Hur, who's being X-marked, who's being attacked by the bristleback. He doesn't want to commit suicide yet because he doesn't want to lose 2 lives. No! He'll forget to commit suicide in time, giving a mega kill streak to Love It and a huge recovery amount of gold to XIAO DIAN with that engagement. 1200 to their name. I mean, it might not seem like much because frankly it is not like much. Wait. Is that buyback on the Conquer? Wow, I did not even see that. Buyback on the Conquer, sure, but they almost get a team wipe just getting 4 people there. And in exchange, yes, they do lose a buyback, like I said, but it's not that big a deal because, well, it's a buyback on a support. The net worth of your course is going up, and the net worth of their course is going down. So that's essentially what you want as a team that's losing right now with a bit of a snowball carry. In goes Yash, Macropire plus wall replica. That's not bad. The ice path as well, but of course no damage from Macropire now. The chicken, and Yash be hit by the boat pretty easily. Mechanism, luckily, before he actually gets stunned. He's gonna go down anyway. Silence, but XIAO eats up the Shadow Shaman. And at least it's a kill for a kill. Now Love It wants to fight XIAO. Maybe it's not the best of ideas. Ben-Hur catches out Gentleman in the bottom, in the mid lane, sorry. And he puts him in a difficult position. So much so that he dies. Love It is stuck with the ice shards. He's gonna keep ghost spraying, but those ice shard stacks, sorry, those furry swipe stacks are starting to deal so much damage. And the Tusk ends up going down. Now, in the bottom lane, they're going to be taking down another lane of creeps and possibly now the tower for Happy Feet, which they've been looking for quite a while. Sure, they did lose a pretty important hero, that being Darkseer in the bottom lane, but he's going to get Guardian Gears next soon. And, I mean, Guardian Gears are really good for the Darkseer in general because it'll stop the silence from the Blood Right, and that's pretty much what you want. They also make you stronger at low health, which is the best counter to Bloodseeker in general. Because if he has Thirst and he's very powerful, you just give Aura and HP to, or Armor in Aura and HP in Aura to everyone around you, so it's absolutely wonderful. And the Bloodseeker can't really touch you because he only has physical damage, really, in the early game. Now, Love It. Go himself for a Solar Crescent, trying to defend this tower, maybe get the last hit. I don't know if they're trying to last hit it with Liquid Fire or what, because Jules is weirdly positioned here. It's already within deny range. So, we're just gonna let the tower be denied here. Unless they want to conserve it for the Glyph Power. It could be just for the Glyph Power. You'd of course just deny it now. It's not much gold, honestly, the first tower, the difference that it makes between being denied and not being denied. So, it's a questionable choice. Much more questionable choice than it would be earlier. The other patches that maybe, yeah, because the towers used to give you so much more gold, but now it's more of a option of, do I really need the glyph? You know, no. Happy Feet, guys. We'll be taking down the tower in the top lane. Or he's attempting to, maybe they're just leaving it behind. Okay, that's cool too. Let's look at the items of Lads on the Ursa. On the Storm Spade, we have a Bloodstone with 11 charges. That's not bad. I mean, it's not the 12 original, but it could be bad. Could be much worse considering he's already died once. XIAO DIAN, on the other hand, we do have the Solar Crescent number so back. That's going to make him so much tankier. And oh, careful, because the Ursa wants to go to speed down. He doesn't have the best of ideas. He gets hit by the Torrent and also by the bow. He's been silenced with the Blood Right. Now the Rupture as well. Ursa can't move anywhere, but in comes the Storm, and they have no way of stopping it. They've actually decided to go on the Shackles. First, Speeddraw will die second, and Bristleback is stuck between 3 enemies. They're hitting him from all directions. His Bristleback can't help him against this. The Ice Path stoles him down, and Love eventually dies down to Ben-Hur's damage while the rest of his team take care of the snakes. A slight pause by the Jakiro saying, please, we have technical issues right now. And XIAO DIAN only have 2 surviving members of their team. The Storm could try to zip-zap into this Tinker, but there's no way you can kill him in time or even stun him out, so it's probably going to be okay. DIAN, similarly, he's going to be just walking away from this engagement. But Happy Feet still get a triple kill and taking a core and a offlane with them, so that's not bad. Okay, yeah, the Ursa helps out with the overpower, easy taking the snakes like that. And you still have a tower in the top lane, which seems pretty juicy. And all you need to do, really, is keep pushing this lane out. I mean, the Storm is really close to the Orchid as well, which is also a very important factor. But of course, utilizing the Liquid Fire here, you can push this lane out much quicker, and the tower also deals a considerable less amount of damage. And Therefore, you're not as worried about it. And the Ursa's lack of pushing power is not that big of an issue because you do have, again, Liquid Fire. As Jakiro pick has worked really well for them. The Ice Path has also been wonderful, putting a lot of zoning out onto Bloodseeker, who can't really move under any means that are not, you know, simply the traditional ones, which I'm referring obviously to movement speed. And he has no Blink Dagger or anything of the sort, no Force Staff or anything else. In fact, he might even consider a Force Staff. He went for Yolcitor first to cancel the TPs. Bastion seems like a better item if you're really planning on going into full offensive, but I can only presume that he's not going on to full offensive. And of course, the Yolcitor is also useful to combine with Blood Raid, but like I said, if you're going for the carry route, it does seem a bit weird that you would go for a Yolcitor just so you can hit them more with Blood Raid. You do go for the extra Blood Raid damage because 75 pure damage is better than 75 attack in general, and he does actually get the 30 attack speed is not as good as that extra amount of damage that you can deal with a Blood Raid damage. But we'll see definitely on XIAO DIAN and how they do play this carry. Speedrun is one of the few heroes, or one of the few players that still plays the Bloodseeker in the carry position, and he's pretty successful with it. It's only this game particularly not going too well. I mean, the Ursa is pretty good against the Bloodseeker. The Bristleback is more of the main carry in this game, it seems like. Okay, careful, Jakiro with his Liquid Fire is going to figure the tower, and they've actually find DIAN. JU fills this off really quickly. Blood Red, though, is going to hit him and silence everyone. Jakiro's already down. As a support for support, the Darkseer is the next target of aggression, but uses a mechanism to save himself. Love it. Is being harassed considerably, and Happy Feet will finally set to retreat. How much the machines is pouring in, so they decided it's not a good idea to go into XIAO DIAN. We all got a support for support. In exchange, we use the Enrage. That means that we don't really want to fight right now as Happy Feet. And more importantly, Ben-Hur actually came from behind, so we lost our whole surprise factor just in exchange for a Kunkka, which is not the worst skill in the world, honestly. Stopping his Detolence is pretty important as well. But, I mean, it's not like far away anyway. It's only 300 gold away. But regardless, it's not a bad play by Happy Feet to retreat there because they don't really want to use this early game advantage to acquire. The Bristleback is still a threat, and of course, any kill you get around him, or any kill, sorry, he gets around you, or any assist, I suppose. Any kill that his team gets around him, I guess the best way to say it, he's going to be super happy about it because, of course, he's going to heal considerable amount. His net worth is not that high, but of course, if the difference between him and the Storm is ridiculous, and if the Storm does die to him or around him, then his assist gold is going to be pretty high. And that simply is because Ben-Hur, well, is pretty well farmed. And so they don't want to lose Ben-Hur, like I said. But they don't want to lose a lot of people. They don't want to lose, of course, him or the Ursa. But the Ursa is more of a... And they lose JU is more of the fact that they can't gank for a certain amount of time. If they lose Mr. Ben-Hur here, it means that they might actually, the enemy team might actually flip this around, utilizing the lack of Bloodstone charges as well for that. Oh, but in he goes, catches out the Shadow Shaman, easy kill. Ben-Hur is grabbing a support for lunch, and it was pretty tasty, I guess, because then they can go for the Roshan, and they're pretty confident about this. I mean, with the lack of Shadow Shaman, they lose a lot of stuns, and the double damage on JU also helps us out a lot. The solo quest as well. I mean, it's just easy pickings here onto the Roshan. He's already just stacked 480 damage per attack with the Fury swipes. But I mean, it's a bit ridiculous with a solo quest help. They give the Aegis, I mean, the cheese, I think, to Ben-Hur, right? No, they give the Aegis to Ben-Hur as well, and they let him also take the cheese. Okay, that's not a bad idea, considering, like I said, your Storm is very valuable. You want 2 lives on him. With the Bloodstone, you can actually snowball out of control because you now have, 3 lives, essentially. And you also have the help of the Bloodstone in case you do die. So, you should be fine. Silence onto the Bristleback stops him. Oh, okay, the Aegis dropped there immediately. That was a quick Aegis. I've never seen Aegis be dropped so quickly by the guys at, by Happy Feet in general. Ben-Hur just kind of jumped in, said, screw it, I don't really want this Aegis in my possession anyway. I'll just take the cheese, thank you very much. And he just commits suicide. Alright, cool. Takes a tier 2 for it, though. I guess an early Aegis like this, 23 minutes in, is not that important. Or it's not the most important thing in the world. I mean, he's still going to go for the BKB later on for the Storm Spirit, which I do agree, especially against the next Merciless Spot Kunkka and the Shadow Shaman in general, who can hex you immediately as soon as he sees you. So that's not a bad idea to go for the BKB, but I don't really understand why you want to sacrifice the Aegis there like that. I mean, you didn't really create that much space, only took a tier 2 tower. And you are a Storm. The Aegis Storm is particularly strong because of his ability or affinity for dealing a lot of damage, but suicidally in the early game. I mean, since it provides you with full health and everything, you might as well just Aegis and then zoom back. But of course, you might be just afraid of that torrent or the hex of the belt. You know, a lot of skills that can stop you once you get out of the Aegis. Out of the death, I suppose. But then you can use cheese, because the chance that they can bring you down twice is quite low, especially without your team around you. You gotta really, really screw up for that to happen. Now the smoke happens, and Happy Feet go with a 4-man smoke instead of a 5-man smoke, because the storm decides to attack the creeps instead. Which, considering you're a storm and you do have the ability to just kind of zip-zap into the team fights, is not that big a deal, frankly. Let's see. The guys from Happy Feet are probably trying to find a kill onto the Bloodseeker ideally, but if not, you can try to take the team fight away with a Tinker or the Bristleback. Any of the cores will be fine. Honestly, the Kunkka, I guess, is the weakest here to pick off, because it's just an easy hero to kill. The Shadow Shaman, similarly, you don't really want to waste the smoke onto heroes like that. But the Kunkka seems like weakest, because Shadow Shaman at least has the power to hex and shackle, and he still has relevance to the game because of that. But of course, the Kunkka right now only has X marks the spot, and occasionally is in a torrent something. But really, until you get the extra AoE or something, the torrent is still become a pretty useless ability. It only deals 300 damage, which is not that much before. 360, it's a bit more considerable. The slow is pretty good, and so is the stun. But of course, with the delay, it means that you are using it more as Zona. And the area is decent, but like I said, not that big as when it gets to level 25. A 200 AoE is beautiful. Certifiably beautiful. Especially against an Ursa, it's like, oh, where are you going, Ursa? Shh. Yeah, nothing's gonna happen. Alright, careful in the bottom lane, because Jules might be an easy target for XIAO DIAN. You do seem to be using the combo for X marks the spot to bend her. Does see an easy kill onto the Tinker. They already silenced him, but they don't reset to jump. They're a bit afraid of this possible jump, I guess, because of the lack of BKB on the Storm. He does have a cheese, but he don't want to... Oh, no, he doesn't have BKB. He could have just jumped in and killed the Tinker. I suppose they didn't want to, where they were a bit too afraid of initiating a team fight. Of course, they want a team fight with the Darkseer a bit more, which is why the Storm is not jumping as far. That's an important factor to mention. The Darkseer is the main team fight that Happy Feet has, together with Jakiro, of course. And if you do lose the Darkseer, then... or you can't utilize the Darkseer in the team fight, the enemy team has a bit more of an advantage than you. Because the Storm is good, of course. But you are fighting against a Shadow Shaman, a Bristleback, and a Kunkka. They do have a lot of team fight themselves. Whereas you yourself, with your Jakiro and Tusk, are not that big a deal. The Darkseer really makes a difference here. Oh, great snowball actually. Evades both the silence and the stun from the torrent. Jules wants to survive, but he actually encloses himself in those ice shards. But it goes better with the bomb, kills off the Shadow Shaman. The bomb's gonna hit both of them, and no, the BKB gets activated, and Ursa also joins in. They destroy the Kunkka. Next target is Speed Draw. They already use Scepter. Oh, he ult Scepter himself, and they silence the Tinker. Exactly what they needed. Speed Draw, dead by the Earthshock. Now they go on to love it. Gentleman wants to touch DP away, but he's not gonna be successful. The Macropyre stops the poor Bristleback. Ice Path and burned to death as Happy Feet take another team fight, team wipe specifically for them, and with 15,000 net worth difference, they are gonna start going onto some towers. The tier 3, sorry, that falls to the hands of Happy Feet with minute 27. It's a pretty early tier 3, but they don't care much about it because they are going for more. They're going for the racks. That's their objective, and the racks in both in the mid lane and in the top lane are actually undiscovered, or sorry, not undiscovered, are actually vulnerable to the attacks from Happy Feet, mainly because in the top lane there's also a pushing lane that Jesse actually decided to help out. And with this, like I said, the Jakiro Liquid Fire is really good for pushing structures. They still don't have anyone alive. They can fight another team fight if needed because the Storm still has his cheese. And of course 20 Bloodstone charges. This tower is starting to fall pretty easily. XIAO wants to go back at least until he gets his BKB. I think that's the best of ideas, of course, but... I mean, they only took a tier 3, I think it's good enough. I think it's good enough to take into the racks in the middle lane and taking the tier 3 up top. You don't want to risk any more. Go for the shrines now to take away some of the TP and power in the team. Especially this shrine. This shrine is so important for Dire because they take away the Roshan vision. And when you're Ursa and they're Bristleback, then you have a competition for Roshan. So taking away the Roshan vision would be really important. Of course, you could just go for the team fight instead. Love it. Is going to be targeted. Snowball. I mean, they should see him. Or the sponge, or the snowball, no help, no ice path, nothing of the sort. Okay, really take the shrine because that way you also prevent TPs from behind. So there's honestly not much of a point to just standing around there waiting for a possible kill on the Bristleback. Of all people, the Bristleback seems pretty weak. Liquid Fire is helping this tower push a lot. That's good. It's 4-second Liquid Fire, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's 4-second Liquid Fire. So the cooldown is quite large on Liquid Fire. So, sorry, quite low on Liquid Fire. So that's why it's so easy to push things like shrines. And you actually offer a bit more pushing power than even Nursa does, just because of those kind of things. The low cooldown. Right? Ben-Hur doesn't want to jump into the silence, but could now, honestly. He doesn't want to jump into the respect either with the close plays. It's a bit hard if he does have a couple of close plays stacked. It's mainly because the Stormhouse has a lot of resistance with the Bloodstone and whatnot, but he's mainly meant to resist magical damage and, you know, physical attacks rather than the cool spray itself. So when he just stays there for a second or two, or stays in an area for a second or two, it really screws him up. I should went for the 40 attack speed over the 8 armor. Really? Well, I mean, if you're winning by this much, I suppose it's a better idea. I guess you're not afraid of Love anymore with his physical attacks. He can reduce your armor as much as he wants, but plus 8 armor is not worth plus 40 attack speed. Plus 8 armor is a good amount of armor, yes, but plus 40 attack speed is a ridiculous amount of attack speed. That in Razor is level 20 as well, and it's comparable to 400 HP, which is considerably better than 4 or 8 armor. Oh, love it. Targeted out. There's a Furious Time to start to stop him in the vacuum, plus the Ice Bath, plus the Macropile, plus the Wall Replica. The Wombo combo is here. XIAO DIAN stuck in the middle of a Macropire and an Angry Bear hitting at them. Yaj body blocking Love It. Love It can't go anywhere. Speed Draw is the only surviving member of XIAO DIAN. Even their snakes got dropped, and the good game well played will get dropped as well. XIAO DIAN cannot take Happy Feet's advances, literally, and will have to rescind their towers and their spirit to Happy Feet, who win the first game of this best of 3, but are not done yet, guys, as Happy Feet still need to win a second game to complete this best of 3. My name's been DSwordfish. Hope you've liked the cast today. I have been your caster for today. If you did like the cast, feel free to go to Twitter and follow me there. And if you didn't, feel free to rage in the comments below. We'll be back with game 2 between Happy Feet and XIAO DIAN shortly, so stay tuned. These are the semifinals for the lower brackets for the ProDota Cup Season 8. Let's see if Happy Feet are the victors and they can advance to the finals of the lower brackets, or if it's going to be XIAO DIAN who bring it back after a successful game number 2. We'll see you soon, guys. Enjoy some tunes while we wait.